While the inverse is not true about women. Women actually fare a lot better without men, which is why they're not settling. And the reason that men are willing to settle is because they're the ones who need us. Women don't need to settle for anything because women are wholesome beings on their own, right? They're even good at being lonely. They're better at being alphas than men. They're better at going their own way than men. This is what men hate. This is why they always start panicking whenever women have a little bit too much freedom, because this is what it really means for them. It means desperation and extinction. Not to mention the man in the video answers his own question in the very same snippet.
One coffee. Now, what does that tell that guy? Women don't value me. Women make me feel rejected. And then they go online and they see these misogynists telling them it's not your fault. And these men become much more prone to misogynistic content, much more prone to nationalistic content, blaming other people for the lack of economic opportunity. They start sequestering from society. I worry that we are literally evolving a new species of asexual, asocial male. And if a man by the age of 30 hasn't either lived with someone or married someone, there's a 1 in 3 chance he's going to have a substance abuse problem.
He says that men who experience this rejection or this devaluing from women, very next thing they do is turn to incel-led misogynistic online forums, because those are the only people that are able to tell these men it's not your fault. It's these dumb, crazy bitches out here. They just want to reject you and they want you to feel like a beta, etc. When really, it's like women have also evolved to be able to smell losers like that. If you're over here swiping right 1,000 times just to get 5 coffee dates, first of all, you should reconsider your strategy of coffee dates, right? Because this man's big argument is that, these poor men are out here thinking women don't value me, women don't value me. Sir, you're asking women out on a coffee date. How is that supposed to let them know that you value them? Like, what does that tell them about their value? You're only willing to pay $7, and a woman has to spend hours getting ready and meeting you and potentially putting her life in danger, putting her reproductive system in danger. She's supposed to do all that just because she shouldn't want you to feel unvalued or rejected when all that you value her as is $7? That's fucking crazy. If this is really an economic value proposition, then just reconsider your strategy. Fucking coffees? You want people to value you, but the value you assign them is $7? Get the fuck out of here.
But even look at the media.
Right.
What does the media tell a woman to do? He's out. But he didn't open your door? He's not nice to his parent? Walk right out on that man. It's literally every piece of media is, you don't need him. You're a strong, independent woman. Pull the ripcord. You're out.
I also really hate how this man is gaslighting women about having standards. If your standard is that a man should open the door for you, yes, you should leave if a man does not meet that standard. If your standard is that you want a man who has a good relationship with his parents because you plan to have children, you're going to need a village, you want a man who came from a good, healthy family, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting that. There's nothing wrong with knowing yourself well enough to know that you don't want somebody with things that you are not prepared to deal with, or with things that will leave you wanting. And he's making it seem like women are really overreacting to these things. What sucks is that typically those men do go on to abuse and manipulate women in those relationships. Those are really good signs that a man is probably not a good person. A lot of things too, whether he's nice to waiters or service staff or whatever, all of those things matter, and you should vet however you see fit. And in fact, you should have as many vetting strategies in place as it would make you feel comfortable to, because a lot of women will describe perfectly innocuous seeming men that will have turned out to be abusers, manipulators, SAers, predators, PDF files. All of these things have happened before and will happen again. the statistics are honestly pretty grim in that direction, seeing that 1 in 3 women has reported being SA'd. Like, just thinking about that, you should already be really, really careful with how you date as a woman. I don't see the point in gaslighting women about this. That's really messed up, actually. Men pose a very real danger to us. Once again, why the fuck does this always come back to women? Like I said in the beginning of the video, the fact that a bunch of lonely males exist means that a bunch of lonely females exist too. And what? Look at the women. They're not running into the arms of these nationalist, misogynist, it's okay to hurt men because they're not nice to you type of rhetoric. What does that say about who should settle for whom? Do you know what I mean? Like, what does that say about what you're realistically asking women to do? You're asking women to basically be the fragile barrier that holds these men back from the hateful rhetoric that they very clearly already want to espouse, right? Because if these men weren't already thinking like this, then red pill rhetoric would not appeal to them at all. But the truth is, they are thinking like this. And why are they thinking like this? Because we as a society promote misogyny as a concept, as a normal way of thinking. So we shouldn't be surprised that it's creating and breeding, quote unquote, these asexual males who are dropping out of life in general, because of course you're going to create that. Women have no reason to be with people who low-key don't respect them, and we women have evolved to be able to smell a loser from miles and miles away. So we can tell when a man is basically just one bad interaction with a woman away from becoming a full-blown incel. And guess what? Yeah, we are going to ghost him for the next coffee. Probably because he spent the entire time talking about his fucking self, making overly schmexual commentary towards us. All of these things do not appeal to women. And men cannot seem to figure any of this out because they, once again, they don't value us as human beings, including the man who is talking in the stitched video. The way that he talks about women, you can tell he does not care about us or like us or respect us as human beings, because he's more concerned with the men who are literally turning into asexual, amoral, hateful monsters, because he feels more sorry for them than the women that they are inflicting all of this upon. Because mind you, incels do not stay in their own little corners of the internet. They make group chats, 75,000 strong, about how they're going to rape and assault random unsuspecting women, not just the women that quote unquote rejected them, etc. So yeah, forgive us women for not really wanting to deal with nature's fucking rejects, okay? Because if you cannot exist on your own, if you cannot successfully, without utilizing and extracting the labor of a woman to work for you for free, to do all this stuff for you for free, and basically bring everything that you value and other men value to you on a platter. And the only thing you have to offer in return is that you, like the rest of us, go to work for 8 fucking hours a day, then you're shit out of luck, man, and I don't feel bad for you. You're not fit to mate. The people that you want to mate with are out of your league. And they're okay with that. They actually don't need to mate with you. They'll be better off if they don't. But you know who won't be better off? The loser in question. And that's why they're so mad. And that's why they got these other loser men out there feeling so bad for them and framing this as a male loneliness epidemic instead of a fucking incel epidemic, which is really what it is. Please stay safe out there, ladies. I love you so much. Godspeed.